I'm hyped.
You are right.
Honestly,
I am hyped.
Yeah.
So hyped because this is, like we said, the rematch. This is the match to see who will make it to the semi-finals. If Washed Up make it, then, I mean, they're probably already guaranteed for the monthly at this point with that second place. We head into the draft, whereas Laubers Fanclub, they would very much like that big point boost if they can do it. Last Dance, though, they want to assert dominance.
Great, let's see what we get. Battlefield of Eternity is map number 1, as we already pointed out. Semi-final number 1 as well. The big rematch between the Last Dance and the Fan Club. And I would say there's quite a lot of pressure on the Fan Club because they go up against a team of players that have been MIA in Heroes for a long, long time, came back and then defeated them in the semi-final of the last tournament immediately. So you would expect that there's quite a bit of motivation for the Fan Club to bring this back now and take them down here. First ban goes to Sylvanas. This is, of course, the map choice of the Last Dance in this best of 3 series. Yeah, and I am really curious to see what Lauber and his team have in store now for this rematch today.
As am I. This is a rematch for honor. This is a rematch for points. This is a rematch for prize pool. Everything on the line here. Winner moves on to the grand finals. Urel removed here, as much as I'm sure Wubby wants to play it. He ain't first pick, so he wants that gone.
Yeah, Urel has just climbed and climbed and climbed in priority throughout this and the last tournament, so she is once again back where we want her in an early pick or even ban spot. ETC also, as he excels on this map, is banned out. I mean, for multiple reasons. We have Lauber and Breeze, 2 of the OG top ETC players in the game. Both of them would love to lock the hero in, not only because they have a huge preference on the hero, but also because in Battlefield of Eternity, ETC is amazing. You can create a lot of space around the Immortals. You can also lock someone down into an Immortal stun, even push them into it. So that's one of the reasons why it gets eliminated. We alluded a little bit earlier as to how Breeze on his Imperius that he played in one of the previous matches on Battlefield of Eternity excelled a lot with those stun setups. And he could try and do that on this map now, of course, as well, especially since we have another frontliner banned out. Garage is gone, and that leads us to the quick pick on Rhaegar.
Rhaegar coming in straight away, but Ana has also been left available. Zalia, we already know he has a preference for the Lucio too, though, so maybe we will see that being left available. However, Li Ming and Ana are just left up, so I would not be surprised to see that coming in here. We already saw it earlier today.
Yeah. That's exactly the rotation that he played in the previous game, so why not play it here as well? Poik did fantastic following up on any kind of stun. Zalia with a nano boost could help him out here. He himself, of course, played fantastic too. It's the exact same setup that they had the last time. The exact same opening. Now we see Rhaegar together with Greymane. Ty locks this one in for himself. Lauber the one to pick Diablo here. But after the bans, I want to see if we're going to see more heroes that were played the last time from the Last Dance on this map, namely Imperius and Blaze.
Alrighty, so next ban here. What are we going to see? With Diablo on the board, Rhaegar on the board. I doubt we'll see the Tyrande ban, even though we saw it before. They're going to, in fact, ban out the Medivh, interestingly enough. And that's sensible. We've seen that combo so many times in the past. Diablo plus Medivh equals no real safe locations for you to stand. So it's a sensible removal here. Another potential steal or ban. Tassadar might make his way in, as Tassadar Diablo is a fantastic combo.
Yeah, with Medivh already out, what do you ban here? I mean, they banned Johanna out. Honestly, at this point, you got to question if the fan club actually didn't watch what was played previously, if nobody scouted at least the draft for them, or if they just say, hey, if they play the exact same thing, we're going to be fine. So I'm interested if this is just going to be the same pickup once more with Breeze and Imperius and, yeah, well, that's that Blaze side lane.
Alrighty, there's Blaze and Imperius. You called it almost exactly. Not surprising to see. Breeze on that Imperius was so strong last time. So seeing it once again is not too surprising. And Blaze to make up some more AoE stuns. Chen gonna make his way in here. And Thrall giving himself a lot of poke onto the objective and a lot of beefiness to help out with that Greymane.
I have seen that Foresight pick before. Where have seen it? Oh yeah, because it's the exact same combo. They have Rhaegar on the other side, and they're saying, hey, they're going to try and play around Bloodlust. We're going to pick Falstad. If he hits R, you hit R. Just gust them out. That makes sure that Bloodlust doesn't get any value. And if he can do that, then, well, we could see similar setups here. That worked really well the last time that they played. That was against Mopsio's team. But again, this is to the T the exact same combo that Last Dance played on this map against Mopsio's team, the Reformed players. And the fan club either wasn't aware of that, or they just simply said, you know what? We don't care. We can beat this. One of the two.
We do have a little bit of a wild card in this case, though. The Chen. Not picked in the last time we saw this, not picked often at all, but it snuck its way in this time. I expect a Stormer Fire, which is also a little bit weaker against the Gust, but there is the small chance of Barrel, in which case, if you disengage from us, we bring you back via Chen. The potential is there, but I expect it's more likely to be a Stormer Fire.
Yeah, me too. I mean, Chen sees, depending on the team, a fair amount of play. You've actually, even Max Passion, who we had in the previous game with his Leoric, for example, has played a fair amount of Chen in those games. So he sees quite a bit of that. And I would say that if you can just simply stick to one target, you're in a really good spot. He can, of course, put pressure onto Ana, for example. He can try to do the same also with Falstad. So there's quite a bit that he can do together with that. As we're heading into the game now, quite important is, of course, also what kind of talents we're seeing on level 1. For Falstad, for example, it's the Season Markman opening against Diablo. We've seen that previously too. And we got the Trolling Thunder, which is actually kind of nice for Thrall too. But of course, on this map, he could always go into the Crash Lightning as well, if he is part of the 4-man rotation.
So the Rolling Thunder, which he is part of the 4-man rotation here, against the Blaze and Imperious here, will allow him to do a little bit of extra damage in these team fights. So interesting to see that here. Chen, starting off with Eye of the Tiger, more standard here as a level 1. Everything else looks pretty standard from everyone here. Although, again, second time in a row, Seasoned Marksman for the Falstad.
Okay, so the stacks are slowly coming in here. That's kind of what we expect. We have the same time for Diablo, in this case also the Soul Shield. And top side, our 1 versus 1 is going to be Blaze against Copenhagen. Okay, so this is a setup in... okay, Greyman rotation is already coming in a bit early. So with this, you can not only go for the camp at the 1-minute mark, but you can also try and get some damage onto Whoopi. But he's already falling back because the team at the bottom has signaled, listen, we actually don't know where he is. And instead, the 4-man has become aggressive, and they're able to lock the kill against Thrall. Starting with the first blood here, which also allows them to get the immediate camp here. So it's going to be a trader on the camps and a first blood for the Last Dance.
Nicely done, able to pick that up. Counter camps being taken on both sides. Henning even going to make his way up to top lane. It's the 3-man push coming in against Blaze. See if they can get some value from that. Gonna try and push up and get some extra little bit of pressure, forcing Chris to come up here to counter.
Yeah, the rotations on the maps are currently happening. I mean, it's mostly because you want to try to either stop... there's a couple of ways on how you can actually play this. I mean, either way, if you're trying to avoid a 4 versus 4 battle initially, then you will just simply send one hero on the other side of the map, which is pretty much what the fan club did. But once, of course, you take that camp, someone else has to react from the blue team and also meet that move at the top, because you just can't let Rain into the camp push in here. So with Falstad, they have the mobility that they can use to do that very quickly, very easily. It's not a really big problem for them. It's also going to be quite handy in the later stages of the game for Chris to be able to just fly on the other side of the map, maybe catch an additional wave, push one out into the towers of the opponent and deny them some experience. So despite the fact that it's a smaller map, it's only 2 lanes, having a global here, having a Falstad available for you is still something that can add a lot of value on the macro side.
Seeing the pressure being applied to the lanes, and Lauber trying to find a nice little zone to maybe go for an engage to get a kill before the objective starts. Breeze, though, too near to his own towers, able to stay safe.
There's again the setup of Breeze, and the follow-up is immediately there from Poi. Poi comes in, starts to hit the combo. There's a lot of damage done, but not enough for a kill. Copenhagen is also jumping in with the rest of the team, creating that beefy frontline that they want here, but Lauber nearly falls as Poik is able to secure himself another combo.
Nicely done here, but Not able to pick up the full kill as we see Li Ming joining Falstad for the race. Poik and Chris trying to run that down. And finally, we will see Laubers Fanclub trying to make their way in for the counter kill. And they get it. Their first kill of the game, but a beautiful orb from Poik. They turn it, and Rutsau is focused down and sniped away.
Yeah, 1-for-1 trade now. Fight isn't over yet. Kopenhagen is low, and Breeze is right on, right on the kill. Gets it together with Li Ming. Well done. 3 kills against 1. And now Last Dance is trying to party over here. Getting the damage in against the Immortal as they're attempting to secure themselves objective number 1. And they are off to a good start here. Taking a bit of a leading experience, winning the halftime show, of course. And even looking for the next kill as Boogie was trying jet propulsion up the Lauber and stun Diablo out.
Mortal swap sides, defense positions coming out from Laubers Fanclub. But Chris continuing to blast away with that damage. Lauber finds the angle with the flip into the Immortal stun, and it's a beautiful burst. But Falstad, Chris rolls away. We couldn't get the final damage due to the great start of Breeze, preventing the last auto.
Yeah, Booby in trouble, and in comes Breeze. They get the kill. Oh god, how frustrating that must be. The fan club with such a good setup initially against Chris. It really looked like Falstad has no chance of survival there. And then they nearly get a kill against Booby just as Falstad moves out. But instead of them finally locking in a kill or two, they lose Thrall. And they lose the objective too, as Greyman on the Immortal just can't do enough damage. It was a really good attempt, but oh boy, the control over at Last Dance. I mean, they played this to the limit. Nicely done. And now they have the chance to push topside for the Immortal.
That's got to be more than a little tilting, like you said. Feels bad. They're going to push in. Shield down to the Immortal, though. It will take out the towers and probably the Fountain. The fort, though, good chance of living here, especially with Lauber piling on the pressure, trying to prevent anyone from overstepping. And they are trying to focus that down, although an Immortal's getting some really good value done. Russell doesn't want to step up, especially now that Chris is here. Orb lands, there's the spear, and double, triple. Sorry, just double.
Seriously, you can't. At this point, I really feel like Breeze is more insane on that Imperius than he is on his Diablo. And this guy is just picking the double stuns up left and right. So he's able to just set up Poik once again and the rest of the team. They're coming in, showing absolutely no mercy and securing themselves another kill. That's 6 kills to 1 already after only 5-6 minutes in the game. 15 stacks for Falstad on his level 1. So the auto attacks are also going to hurt as the game continues. And let's not forget that the fort was also taken down. An incredibly solid performance so far and a solid lead in the game.
Another double stun coming in from Breeze. Unbelievable. They get Diablo here. Copen forced to back up. One more spear. Breeze isn't playing heroes. He's working at the kebab restaurant right now, getting the spears. They pick up another kill on Chen.
Yeah, I mean, seriously. It's kind of nuts. And again, another one. The cleanse comes out and Henning is just sitting there like, boys, give me a second. Like, what's going on? So all of a sudden it's level 10 versus level 8. It's 6 minutes in. It's 6 minutes in and they're taking fort number 2 simply by destroying everybody in their sight. Now they have level 10 abilities too. And it's bonkers. It's honestly nuts. I mean, they're really just walking over them here.
Really are. They're putting on so much pressure, really trying to harass it. Another stab, another charge, and bunker to body block him. They shut down Diablo's escape, all 5 in the bunker to burn down the towers. Unbelievable. And they're looking for a keep, Caldor.
Yep. Yeah, why wouldn't they? And the only problem that they have is that they run out of targets and they run out of mana. That's the only problem here. They're dying too quickly, and then they have no mana left. There's nobody to kill anymore. That's just insane. Pain Train has taken up some steam, and it is crushing through the bot lane, Tetcher.
Here comes Lauber. That will finally force the disengage here. Chris able to move back. They even have Gust, so even if Lauber's able to catch up to him, he's not going to be able to do anything. So the disengage from Chris is still available. And this is just absolutely insane. Until this retreat, they were literally killing on cooldown.
Yeah, they were indeed. It's half level until 10, so now we have the halftime show already secured. And yeah, it's a honestly, it's just like they're getting slapped around now. They're literally being used as a punching bag at this point. And until they finally lock in their own level 10, this is not going to change. And it's kind of questionable if afterwards it does.
I have level 10 now available, finally available for the side of Laubers Fanclub, sorry. Gonna make their way forward. They have the Apocalypse, and there is Storm of Fire, very much acceptable, and they have the Earthquake Apocalypse combo, so they do have the potential opportunity to go for that hard engage. Ooh, the kick chasing it down, forces the Gust out.
Yeah, Chris is able to escape though, so that's kind of neat. He's able to move out. Once again, they got the setup over here. Breeze, Whoopi, Poik, they're guarding the Immortal as the rest of the team is slowly coming in for this. Yeah, and Celia on his money pick is also slowly riding in, trying to take the camp now too. We got Bloodlust in, we got the Apocalypse, and off we go. That's the moment when he can, with Earthquake, maybe force the fight here. Earthquake, Apoc, and the Bloodlust. Hit the R buttons and go for victory.
Napping in the boss stun. Good damage. Leaving even finds the orb, threading the needle there onto Hutzao. Hutzao about half health, but Henning will be able to continue to heal him up. And the Immortal, they got it down to half shield already, looking good. Here comes Diablo with the APOC, but Poik teleports out here. T chases him though, and is going to get the double kill here. T with an insane dive. There's the Gust to try and save Blaze, but it ain't enough. Down goes Loba. Down goes Blaze there, and that was an absolutely insane push. Their keep died, but they're going to get the objective.
Tai comes in and just takes them after the Bloodlust connects. Nicely done by him. Great job here. Now bot lane keep has fallen, as you already said, but that was actually a really, really cool move to finally get a little bit of momentum in this game. And Tai just popping off at this point. All that bottled up anger of how this game went up to then. And he finally is able to not only get 1 kill, but 3 in a row. That allows them to get also the Immortal. But of course, that's only the first step, because they have lost 2 forts, they've lost the keep, and they have to counter push this and get some serious damage on the board, or it's still going to be an uphill battle from here on out.
Pressure comes in, but they're zoned out. Straight up, they're not even going to get through the wall. Feels bad. Well, they get through the gate, sorry, but they're not going to get the keep or the fort. That's it. That is going to feel bad. They've got themselves XP in there, back in the game that way, but not a single fort when their keep died during that push. That's not going to feel good. They now just need to race to 13 because they have to keep doing that. Keep getting kills that way.
Yeah, they have to make fights like this happen. There's just no other way for them to get anything done in that particular situation. But as it stands, at least they will be able to put a couple of kills on the board. You know, that was already half the battle. It closes the gap in experience quickly. You're finally in a position where you can, in just a few seconds, fight on even talents. But having that Fawcett on the other side is, of course, exasperating the situation even more, because whenever the bot lane pushes out, he can just simply fly down and create even more havoc on lane, get simply 1 boomerang in, pop another minion wave, and then accelerate the push. So that's problematic for sure, especially as objectives are being fought over, because he can simply disengage from the fight and push the lane then. But it allows them to fight, and that's what they have to do. They have to win team fights now, and there's just no other way to play this anymore.
Bot lane being slowly cleaned out by Chen, denying the extra push value. He's going to have to back up, though. We lost vision on the map. Very smart, very heads up. We'll pull back and stay safe here. Needs to be careful because they're still hovering around. He has enough to share, but that won't protect him. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, Lauber. Lauber, your face, you checked with it. You've been focused out. Cleanse comes out. He will back away.
He is fully stacked. He has a soul shield up, so a bit harder to kill at this point. If you face check with anybody, then Diablo, when he's fully stacked and has a bit of assist from behind, is probably one of the better ones to do that. So at least they did it with the tank. So that's first of all a camp taken.
I completely missed this earlier. Cruelty on Diablo at level 13. Attack speed for Diablo with diabolical momentum. He's going for stun cooldown reduction.
Yeah, they need to get something done for them. Oh, Rutsu nearly getting locked down by the Immortal here. That would have been a total disaster for him, but with Wind Fury he was able to move out. But bot lane is of course now pressured. This is exactly the scenario that we talked about earlier. You have catapults pushing in, you have also the camp pushing in that they just took. So Greymane needs to rotate down and deal with that, and Tai is already underway. And he needs to do it quickly, because if not, then Forcer will just take over. Who has, by the way, now started to defend the top lane, since he's the one who can easily fly into the battle.
Claws under attack, but no catapult minions with it. As such, no damage will actually be done past the shield here. Greymane finishes off that last catapult. One more wave incoming. Falstad has finished out with top lane. Made his way in for the rest of his team. Greymane returns as well. They're moving in as 5. Breeze doesn't land the charge. Here comes Lauber. He's looking for Point. There's the root. Bloodlust. Earthquake. Apocalypse. It hits no one. And Gust is useful to disengage, but Chris is low. And the Storm of Fire picks him up. T is outplayed by the nano boosted Point.
Yeah, Ty goes down. So is Foresight, though. And Breeze finally falls. We finally have a little bit of action going for the fan club as they're coming in for another quick battle. 6 kills to 10 now. But on a structural level, they're of course still way behind, but at least they're making the plays right now. They're trying to make another one for Whoopi, as we have Copenhagen jumping in deep for potential kill, but they're burning down the Immortal to the halftime show and lock this in. Bot lane has to be dealt with eventually, as we have 2 catapults pushing through, but still the chance now to lock in another Immortal. But level 16. Super close for the last stance. Even if they don't get it here for the fight, they would be able to defend with the talent advantage.
Using Copenhagen here for the Immortal race instead of Greymane is a risky play here. They are able to win the Immortal race and Greymane cleans out the catapults, but they lost a little bit of extra shield that they might have won with the race instead.
Yeah, so again, they might even get 16 for the push if we can take another wave for the bot lane quickly. I mean, Copenhagen is exactly there to try and take that, and will. Top side, on the other hand, the defense has already started and the shield is about to fall, so they get the extra talent any moment, but it's still going to be a 4 versus 5. With the help of the Immortal, it might just be enough, but here we go. Even talents. At least the fort has to fall. Seriously.
They're focusing it down. It's kind of close between the two. Double charge from Breeze. Hitting gets the Bloodlust off before he perishes. But Laubers out of position. They're going to try and take down Poik, but there's the dominance. There's the reset with the nano boost, and Poik is out of there. T is in full retreat. Laubers in full retreat. Ty might die. Lauber may fall. And Chris able to pick up the kill. And Shen decides he doesn't want to be in top lane anymore and heads back down bot.
Can I just mention how ridiculously some of Zelia's heals are? I mean, honestly, that guy has an aimbot. I mean, seriously.
Yep.
Like, some of the times, you literally see someone you see Poik teleporting away, and the second he lands at his new position, the healing dart is already there. It's absolutely ridiculous. Like, the amount of times that Zelia has now saved teammates throughout this in the last tournament is absolutely incredible, and he did it here again. Poik just popping off with all the support that he gets there. They get kill after kill after kill, drop 4, 14-6, and it's incredible how they're performing right now. Chris, again, with the afterburners moving out as the fan club is desperately trying to finally lock the bird down and pluck that chicken.
There's so much frustration probably going to be coming in from Laubers Fanclub here with Copen jumping onto Li Ming. She teleports away. Jumps onto Falstad. He rolls away. They're looking for kills. They're dropping the crowd control, but they can't catch him because they're too mobile.
It's honestly crazy. They took finally a fort, though. I mean, again, top fort at least fell, so that's a bit of a relief for the top lane. There's not going to be any catapult pressure anymore that isn't matched on the other side, so that's at least that. 11 stacks for Lauber, that's a bit problematic because Diablo will have to build up the stacks again so that he is a bit more tanky. And as the objective just gets announced, it's not going to have the time to do that. And we see the result right there. Gets pushed in the corner, barely survives. Could have been a kill against him. Ty, on the other hand, is trying to turn it around as Breeze is already going for the bunker once more. Ubi dropping this here. Earthquake even on the ground. Again, no kills.
Very nice bunker micro from Breeze there to keep himself in this game. Here comes the full retreat out of Laubers Fanclub, looking way less healthy in terms of the hit point bars and blowing basically every heroic. They don't want to fight, so they immediately move back and they're going to attempt to start sieging. Ty really needs to be careful where he's standing, will dodge the spear and the sleep dart, but eats quite a few magic missiles from Poik.
Yeah, Falster nearly done with the squares now. There's the stun setup attempt again for Copenhagen. At the same time, Zelia gets attacked. He needs to be careful. He's still able to rush out, though. And trying to go for another double stun setup with Breeze. Breeze waiting. Here comes Whoopi from the side. And the blue team retreating. As we have the fan club getting a bit more aggressive here. Trying to bring it back with Greymane on the objective.
That's it, though. They just busted their last heroic with Cursed Bullet. The next one up in 15 seconds. But we have the Angelic Armaments and the Bunker and the Nano Boost all up in less than a second, meaning that this is the last chance that Laubers Fanclub had to really take a decent fight. Good route by Hutzau, but they cannot afford to take a full 5-man team fight here, for they will suffer and they will lose.
Defensive position again from the Last Dance. Good game, by the way, now. Still that massive leading experience, though, for the Last Dance. Once again, Breeze looking for the stun, looking for the setup. Nobody with him this time, though, as he was aiming for it. And misses the lunge. There's the APOC and the insta-kill against Thrall as the rest of the fight turns quickly against False, and the bird is already down as they're going for the backline. They're trying to actually get another kill with Diablo, who aims for point for Zelia. Doesn't get either. Bunker on the ground. Kobla again! And he's dead and eliminated.
Here comes the data boost for the resets. Looking for Lauber here with the slow from Blaze. Picks it up. Poik is out of mana though. T's going deep. He's looking for it, but Ty taken out from the sleep dart of Zalia. That's a 4-4-1, and they're moving on to the core. Rhaegar's porting back to base. He is the last chance to defend this. 17 seconds for Thrall. Can he delay? But 2 catapults there. This looks like it might be it for game number 1.
Yeah, for sure. They're going straight up for the core with 2 catapults already firing the shots. One with a bit of an F here because it just hits the wrong target. Definitely needs glasses. That's not what you're supposed to hit. But they're going for the core as we speak. Zalia gets attacked, but of course it's not going to change the outcome here any longer. Hoik even committing to the Archon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a game as they lock in a victory on Battlefield of Eternity.
Game number 1. Nicely done there. Very solid by the Last Dance. One step closer to their second grand final. Laubers Fanclub. Moments of power, moments of brilliance. But the disengage potential that Falstad offered, the rolls, the teleports, it was so good. And of course, that early lead, taking out the keep so early in the game, very much down to Breeze just playing Shish Kebab Simulator and just grabbing everything.
I mean, again, last week was the semi and the grand final was a big story. This is not going to be any different. So, yeah, with that, let's jump straight into the draft. And off we go. All right. Infernal Shrines, everybody. Game number 2 as we're heading into this. We got the 1-0 lead for Last Dance. A little bit of a weaker early game, as we said, from Laubers Fanclub on the first map. If they can kind of smooth it out a little bit and make sure that they not get snowballed in the first few minutes, and they should be able to play more on an eye level here. But this is our second map, and again, it is the map choice of the Last Dance, as Laubers' team has opted for first pick, first ban. So let's go. There's the Ana ban again. This is the exact same pattern that we saw in the previous series, like the exact same thing. First game, identical draft. Second game starts with the Ana ban because everybody just says, okay, Zalia is nuts. Let's not allow him for that. Let's not make this happen anymore.
Absolutely couldn't agree more. Makes 100% sense as we see Tassadar getting removed, ignored completely last game. Makes its way in this time because it has such good shrine clear to go with all the other damage output it has. Now, what do we see from Laubers Fanclub? The second ban. Is the Imperious worth the ban, or are they still focused on ETC too much? They do have first picks. They could try and steal it.
I mean, there's still ETC up, right? So we talk a lot about Imperious, which is for good reason. But there's also ETC still up, so that would be something that I would be more worried about. But they have first pick, first ban, so if anybody bans it out, it's likely the Last Dance, always assuming that Laubers still wants it. There's URL ban, though. And let's see what they are going to get rid of. Keep in mind, the last time that they actually played this, if I'm not mistaken, they opened up with a Johanna plus Leo opening, correct? So
yes.
Some solid wave clear here. If they could get that again, that would, of course, still be the dream.
Let's see what the final ban is. Medivh was banned last time. Maybe we see that again. No, we're going to ban out Deathwing earlier on here.
Okay, pretty early Deathwing ban for them now. But that leaves us with Diablo, ETC, Johanna, Leoric, all still up. Just talking about like side laners and frontline. I mean, even Blaze, if you pick him here, of course, for the Shrine fight, is going to be super solid.
We have our Rhaegars. We have so many good options here. Spoiled for choice. And this is the idea that we're seeing here. Zul, though, is the pick. A hero that really wasn't prioritized at all last game, but still has value. We'll get back to see what happens from there in just a moment.
Yeah. So apparently we have a quick drop over here from Lauber himself. And yeah, Discord apparently died. Okay, so once that voice is gone, makes drafting a little bit more complicated. I mean, to be fair, thankfully it happened at the beginning. So they can pretty quickly redraft that, and then we're going to be golden.
Exactly. They have a lot of little bit of time. Jump back in. The winner of this moves on to the finals, where they'll be playing against the winner of Washed Up versus Iavla Spindel. Lots of potential fun matchups ready here. Can the Last Dance make their second semi-final, or will Laubers Fanclub try and re-establish themselves as one of the top 2 teams in Europe? Because right now, we are just waiting for a player to jump back in and we'll be ready to go.
The interesting thing is always that if you have another semifinal happening at the same time, if one of them gets delayed, it allows the winner of the other semi to just spy a little bit of what's going on, right? Allows them more time to look at previous drafts that have been executed by any of the teams, and then also look a bit at the playstyle and if there's maybe some weaknesses to be exploited, some picks that you can play around. So that's something we could definitely see here too. If Washed Up is able to finish their own series with a quick 2-0 and this one is still going on, it would allow them a bit more time to double check what's happening. And it seems that Lauber is back. And we are jumping back into our draft. Apparently.
Feels good.
All right. Countdown's already there, and Whoopi's like, I guess we're ready. It's like, we're not, but hey, it's like, by all
they
means,
are called ready for you. All right, we're underway. Back into the draft, ladies and gentlemen. We're just going to rush through the bands we had and that Zool pickup, and we will be back underway again.
Okay, so as we're redrafting that, we're actually going to go straight for the same setup. I assume that the Zool pick was still like totally legit. I mean, again, it's not a hero that they accidentally picked there, so I would be surprised if they wouldn't lock that in again. Sometimes it happens that that last pick is going to be changed, but yeah, I don't really expect that here. So same stuff. Ana Urel banned out, Tacita also banned, and there's the Deathwing ban, which leads us to the Zool pick, which then is going to bring us back into.
Yep, there we go. We're up to date. Let's do this in the draft for game number 2. Zool already picked up, and now we're finally back to where we were. Last Dance with their first picks of the game. ETC still available. We have Imperius still available. Sonya, a lot of the other map era control heroes on this map, and you already mentioned Johanna Leoric was what they picked last time and what they picked this time.
Yeah, it feels like they can walk away with the same draft that they played before. It would be a bit memey if they would just redraft the previous composition down to a T that they played on this map. But so far, it seems like that might just be what's happening here. I mean, let's wait out a little bit. Obviously, you also want to be a bit more reactionary, depending on what's going on. But now that Laubers Fanclub has actually their Zool, they go into Rhaegar, and they have ETC together with that too. So that gives them, again, a lot of wave clear. And also the ETC lineup, which, to be fair, was also taken from their opponent in the series against Mopsio's team, but they played it with ETC, Malfurion, and Junkrat, if I'm not mistaken, and weren't quite able to get enough value out of it. But this one at least allows for a lot of macro rotation because of the wave clear that Zool offers the team, and of course the team fight too.
Alrighty, there goes the Chen ban. It was actually very effective in the last game, so not too surprising. Gonna see that taken out. There goes the Malfurion ban. And this should be, like you said, right now, they are completely on track to just do the exact same draft again. They can just play Lucio, Kael'thas, and Reyna, and everything's fine.
Yeah. Let's see if they actually do that. But it would be kind of fun. I mean, there would be 2 teams, it would be identical maps, identical lineups, and this time they change it up slightly. So Deckard Cain is actually the one that jumps onto that Zelia picks, so he goes for the old man. A lot of zone control, especially, of course, when they're going to play around the objective. I mean, it was one of the reasons why back in the day he was just consistently picked on this map, because he could really just use his tools to to control the choke points and really control the movements of opponents' teams. And yeah, that off we go. Jimmy comes in for Chris. But I like it. Deckard Cain. It's good.
Oh boy. Now the Deckard Cain actually gains he's a little bit weaker against Kerrigan, obviously, but he gains a little bit more value here. The reason Deckard Cain works better than Lucio in this situation is because he is a good counter to Bloodlust compositions due to nap time. But now there's Kerrigan in here. If he gets dove on, no cleanse is gonna be a pretty big issue.
Yes, that's true. And Kerrigan, ETC, there's a lot of CC that you already have. They got Zool together with that too. Here comes Junkrat, and that, again, as in the previous series, gives you at least a little bit of wiggle room when it comes to displacement whenever that Carrigan combo comes in. So you have a tool against that. But it's still quite a snowbally setup. I mean, there's a lot of CC now for Laubers Fanclub, and this could be a good one. It depends on who the target is, right? It depends on positioning at the end of the day. You're not going to do a lot against Leo, not a lot against Johanna, so you have to literally hit the back line. And if the frontliners do their job well, then maybe it's going to be too difficult for Rutsu to really initiate there, but still a good lineup for both teams.
Well, we will see. As of right now, the drafts do look solid on both sides. If Zul can make it to the late game, then I feel a pretty big confidence for Laubers Fanclub, due to the fact that Zul late game is absolutely insane. But the draft is a lot safer and probably better for the objective from the side of the last dance, just due to the fact that Johanna and Lyric can zone so effectively. And of course, if they get a super late game, then Entomb just wins games. So both teams have a solid draft, but I'm leaning a little bit towards the last dance. If it hits. Oh dear.
All right, so let's head into the game. Game number 2 coming up now, of course. So right now, we got the lead for the blue team. We have the lead for Last Dance, and now the opportunity to make this a 2-0.
10 seconds.
But let's see what they actually can do here. So, second game, and on the right side, we got the fan club. Towards the left, Last Dance, the lead for the blue team, as mentioned. And that's, of course, now the opportunity to take this with a 2-0 advance to the grand final, as they did last week. Or, if the fan club can make the Carrigan composition happen with all the CC that they're running here, and ETC in particular, as a Carrigan support second stun, then they have an opportunity to maybe bring this to game number 3. So let's go for it and see if that's possible here.
Very old-fashioned minion block coming in. Doesn't make too much of a difference. Lanes are cleared instantly from both teams anyway.
Let's have at it. I mean, for now, it's actually a pretty heavy rotation down to the bottom. Nice penetrating round, already stopping any kind of aggression it could have possibly thrown out there, down cold. Obviously, if you're on a Carrigan setup, you would love to get just some early kills in. Just use all that CC that you have and that dirty engage, jump in, get the quick kill, give your team the advantage now. And then they would totally love to make that happen. But at least with Jimmy and the CC that he has, penetrating around with Johanna, the slows, and also Junkrat, you have a lot of tools that can try and shut Carrigan down before she gets that initial setup.
Mercenaries being taken on both sides, nice and quick, and this is a very standard start to the game for everyone involved. Zul, by the way, interestingly enough, the Shackler coming in here, going for some slows at level 1, as opposed to the normal backlash, which, against Leoric Johanna, could have been very effective.
Yeah, for sure. Also with Jimmy now Exterminator or focusing of course a little bit more on the objective here, so it's gonna what they're trying. I mean, objective alone, I don't really think you have to even go for that. If they feel that they need more damage, you could have gone for Ace of Spades, which we now see a little bit more, because they are looking at a setup where they first of all have a ton of slows, but also they have so much CC that you don't necessarily need that for Jimmy. It helps you of course on the defense against the Punisher if your opponent takes it. There's a couple of arguments to be made in favor of both talents, now that Blizzard again tweaked the balance on it a bit in the last patch and started to nerf it.
No Ruby for Deckard this time, going for Potion of Shielding, a little bit of extra protection as opposed to Dive. So wants to keep everyone a little bit of extra sustain, which will of course help against the corruption of the Gul'dan.
Chris down here on Junkrat now, still playing it. The one thing about Chris in general is that he always played the game incredibly safe.
Yes.
He oftentimes ends up with like insane numbers because he just doesn't die as often on average as other players. That was always one of the outstanding things for him. And he had also stuff where, especially apparently ADRD helped him a lot with positioning and other things just about the game, and where he can get more value out of the way that he positions his hero and the way that he plays. I mean, the Mad Scientist was absolutely incredible when it came not only to making calls on the map, but also telling people how to shift positions slightly and make other minor adjustments that would increase the impact that they have with the hero in particular. But for Chris, it was always this like, hey, I'm not gonna die, I'm playing this safe, I'm playing it patient. He's not the one to just simply YOLO out on lane and then get caught. And that is worth a lot having on a team like this, especially if you have him on the solo lane. on the off lane in a situation like this where you can't afford losing them.
Lauber looks for a kill there, was zoned away very effectively. Chris has finally joined up with the rest of his team, and that is going to be the objective, going over to the last dance. Uncontested here, they just picked that up. There was a little bit of a fight, but no actual race for the objective here. No position was able to be gained. Emerald for Deckard Cain here. They're looking for some blow-up potential here, as the Punisher is pulled over the wall very quickly.
Yeah, pull them over, but they still get a bit of tower damage in. They still have Chris down to the bot lane, doing a bit more work, trying to, of course, escort another mini wave in, and now potentially trying to stop the rotation. And there is not even any rotations. That's a lot of experience that's going to be lost at the bottom of the map, and that is a problematic for Lauber and his team. This alone is not going to put them in a horrible spot or anything, but make another 2 or 3 plays like this, and that's going to be a solid advantage and experience for Last Dance. You can already see that they have taken now a slight advantage over their opponent, and over time these things will add up if they can continue to make it.
Stun onto Johanna, but there's your own skin. Shield almost burst down, so they would have had the opportunity to try and finish her off, but Breeze able to back away safely enough. Zul now also going to be a lot harder to gank as he has a wall of bones on the other side. Very much going into that Q-based Zul build with the Decrepify later on, as Mercenaries picked up once more. But again, the Last Dance slowly creeping ahead in terms of map control.
Yeah, also the wave kick coming through again.
Yep.
Combo attempt here, like trying to get a stun in, that didn't really work out. Instead, they're turning it against Tai, and that might even be a kill. They're really locking me down hard. Right. It's the cleanse of Rhaegar, though, that saves the day. But
yep, pre-cleanse, no chance of him being shut down and held in place, so no bonus ace in the hole damage. Tai is fine, Tai is safe, able to pull away. Wobby, he's chilling, just waiting for minions to come here. No reason to show himself on the map when there are no minions in lane, so we can just get the XP that way. 0 kills in this game so far, before level 10.
Yep. I mean, for Laubers Fanclub, that's much better than the last one, right? It felt like it was the early kills that really ruined the entire map for them. But now we have level 10 abilities. For Last Dance is only a small advantage, it's not really a window that you can capitalize on. So they will have to wait out, or can they? Whoopi looks for the Entomb, but he doesn't get that either. And now with just a bit more experience, they should be fine. Poik at the bottom of the map dances with Tai and gets the fountain. And his team comes in to help him out. Opponents don't catch him, so that's actually worth a lot, because that's where the next objective spawns. And if you still have a fountain available and your opponent doesn't, that gives you obviously an advantage, since you can still pre-tap or simply fall back in the middle of the fight and go for a bit of extra mana and HP. So that's a solid start and really should help them with the next Punisher.
Interesting talent choices here for the heroics on Zul. Are going to see the Poison Nova. Now, the extra damage always going to be nice. Can't really turn your nose up at that. But this build really focuses a lot on slows. So as such, not going for the Skeletal Mages is a little bit more unusual. But that extra damage output, and potentially at level 10, if they don't want those mortal wounds, that extra healing for himself could be a very big deal. We'll be curious to see how continue to play it throughout the game.
When talking about the game, once again we have the earlier rotation down to the bottom to the objective from Last Dance. We've seen it a few times against different teams now. They just arrive at the shrine with the better timing. This has been consistent. This is really just a macro move that allows them to get early pressure here, and oftentimes gives them a bit of a lead on the stacks. This time it's not really all that big, but it is such a consistent thing that happens here. It's definitely by them, totally by design, and other teams haven't really caught up on it yet. And it leads to them having the initial position and control over the shrine, and that makes the opponent push into a bit of an awkward spot here, where once again Hyperion is through. There's the Bloodlust, and Whoopi falls at the first one in this game.
Whoopi going to be the first blood, like you say. He dropped his Entomb way earlier as well, so it wasn't available, even though he was just stun locked, couldn't really get out anyway. But he's taken now. However, he will be back about the same time as Entomb is. But the objective already disappearing. Chris desperately trying to siege in. They deliver. Kerrigan, nap time, turn around. Big damage from Chris, dodging on the stun. Poison Nova, though. Gotta turn this round and shut this down. Breeze may fall here. No, Iron Skin keeps him alive. But there's the Punisher. Wobby, oh no, on cooldown. See you later, bud.
Stay a while, explosion. But nobody following up with any kind of serious damage. There's no kill. Not getting wrecked after that one. But instead, Leo goes down, and that's a Punisher that gets baited over the wall that they defend against. And the problem is that the Fanclub doesn't really have enough here to say, okay, we can go for it. So instead, camps. Camps is what they go for. We're going to make the play here. We still have Zul at the top. Copenhagen is dealing with the camp that pushed through the wall a little bit. 13. That's the lead for them. 2 kills against 0. They get slowly a little bit ahead here, so it's not a big lead or anything, but that's definitely worlds away from what happened in game number 1. So up to now, Fanclub must be pretty happy with how this is going, even though they would of course have loved to get a bit more out of that first Punisher that they locked in for themselves.
Lauber scouted. Wobby. Burst, focus. This time he gets the Wraithwalk though, finds the gap, will get hit by the Jailers, and Kerrigan still diving. There's the Bloodlust, but zoned away by the Entomb this time, and it looks like they're actually going to get out.
Yeah, Lauber not going for a slide here. We have still the camp that they could take down though. No, the problem is they have no mana. That's an issue of the fountain being taken down earlier. This was already a bit of an issue after they won the fight over the Punisher. They just don't have enough mana to really go for a big push or anything here. So we have at this point still a Hearth back for exactly that reason. Need to top off that mana pool again. So that's slightly... I mean, it is a close one. It's much closer than the last one, that's definitely for sure. So I like that. 13 talents on both sides, which gives us again the tidal waves. Again, previously you couldn't really play the talent. Now with Bloodlust, you have a little bit more wriggle room on the level 13 because you don't need that small charge up to get an Ancestral through. So with Bloodlust, that's not an issue. Therefore, Tidal Waves comes in as a possible alternative for him. And we see that used by a lot of Rhaegar players these days.
Echoes of Death on the Zul. Breeze bringing out the Roar, wants the extra damage on Q, which he's already been getting quite a few off. Very nice to see. And of course, Ancient Blessings, which may be used here to try and focus down Wubby. It was used, focus down Copen, which they're unable to do. Even with Ancient Blessings, Copen able to get out.
Yeah, barely able to walk away from this one. The rest of the team rotated in to help him out, or at least keep the lane safe. But Kerrigan is still at the bottom and moves now into the middle, where she obviously tries to catch some extra experience. Still, very... I mean, we have seen 1 or 2 fights. It's too objective. The first one, not even a big battle. The main fight has happened over objective number 2, which was taken by the Fanclub. It's also where they got most of the kills here. But look at the experience. It's such an identical situation right now. 15 versus 15. We don't have a single fort that was eliminated off the map yet. There's a bit more damage in the middle at least from Last Dance. That's good for them. But now that the Shrine is activating topside once more, I'm pretty sure that now we're going to see a bit more action in the teamfight department, especially if both teams are able to get level 16 before the Shrine gets activated.
Focusing it down, cleaning out that fallen Shaman camp. Wubby, he's outie again. Lots of focus onto him, but he's not being picked off, and that's the important bit, and as such, he's going to be available when his team gets level 16, and they might try to invade this.
Yeah, they should. I mean, Kerrigan is now moving in, 16 versus 16, Pain and Red is ready. We also have the Wraith Walk build for Leo completed with the Royal Focus after the Ominous Wraith. And, well, also the Ruinous Affliction. Level 1 isn't completed yet for Gul'dan. He's still sitting at 31 stacks, but hey. Big lead again for Last Dance. Here comes the full setup of the Bloodlust already through EDC with a dance party, and they're getting Deckard Cain. The old man, hips don't lie, he still has it. Comes in, swings it, and goes down. Now at the same time, Whoopi though gets knocked down for just a moment too. Kerrigan comes in and follows up with another kill here. Job well done. 2 down on the side of the Last Dance, and that is 4 kills against 0 in total.
Nicely done here, able to survive, able to tank their way through, and one of the big parts of that was the talent differentiation we're seeing from Zul, by the way. Weaken coming in here, so we didn't go for the slows, he went for less damage on Skirts Warriors, which are now pinged on the Scythe, and of course from Jailers, which means a lot of the damage we saw from Raynor in that fight especially was a lot less than it would be normally. Nice little variation on the build that's working very well in their favor.
And I gotta say, that last fight was pretty solid. Rousseau in particular just absolutely popping off and able to lock Whoopi down after initially he was stunned by ETC. And also that mosh pit against Deckard Cain, once you have Zelia down, it's like, this is It's honestly, you play against normal beings again. It's kind of crazy. There's no insane heals anymore, so that worked well. And they dropped a lot just to simply get that one kill. But they were able to do it, and without your healer in the fight, there's little you can do. So now they're still controlling the macro level here. Lauber is nicely trapped by Leoric, but it's not enough to give them the chance for a kill. But they take the wall down. And
Stun, stun, Wubby. Ouch, he's fine.
Yeah, he's fine. For now.
Roots out though, towers, good damage, ancient blessings, focus. They can't catch him. Nice little escape coming now. Bless Shield not available. Here comes Leo. He's looking for it, but he cannot find the angle.
Also, there's going to be a cooldown ready for Riga in a second, so that's of course another aspect to it. But 4 kills to 0, and if you think about it, it's a 4th Liga. You kind of would expect that they are in a position where they were able to get a little bit more. You just look over to, let's say, for example, experience. It's a tiny gap. It's not really huge by any means, and 1 forward is not the end of the world there either. So that's a big part of it. Mercenary control has been a big part of this, by the way, because we have 3,600 experience through mercenaries for the blue team, and only 2,000 from the red team. So that's a huge part. Oh, ETC, Mosh Pit interrupted, short cooldown. They're trying to go for the fight here. Breeze coming in, and he might be in trouble.
There's the Bloodlust going to try and focus down Breeze to kill him off before that Fanaticism gives him the speed to get out, but it's too late. Shield too high, and he is able to retreat. Nicely done there. Good disengage, but they did burn a lot of abilities to be able to get out of there.
Yeah, still in the middle of the map, there's another push coming in, and Copenhagen secures the experience there for them. It is close. I mean, it honestly feels like it's mainly... The main advantage, honestly, for The Last Dance is a little bit better control of lane experience, and also doing a fantastic job around the mercenaries the entire game, which makes up for the difference in the kill count. And still, bit of a lead, could be leading to an earlier 20. It's these aggressive setups that we are seeing here, though, that make this currently an insanely intense game, because just one good power slide that hits the target and allows Kerrigan to follow up with additional stuns, and you could look at another kill, and then them getting the momentum, and this might just be the opportunity here. Iron Skin is ready though, but Poik is in trouble, and that might just be the end of him.
Good. Bless Shield, though, is able to stun down the Assault Force and gets Poik out of there. Everyone lives, and the Soak race to level 20 continue.
Yeah, half a level for them. Kerrigan still looking for opportunities here. It's just insane how much a good Kerrigan player can do. I mean, we talk about Nick, of course, a lot. He's still like the top Kerrigan player currently in European Heroes of the Storm. Nadrutsu is doing a fantastic job putting the fear into the hearts of the opponent. 24,000 damage for him so far. The top damage dealer in the game is Junkrat with 36k, followed by Jimmy on 34. But here we go. Shrine is announced. 7 seconds, and they have a level 20 already. Should give them a small lead. It's not going to be a big one, but they should be able to take the first wave of stacks here.
Well, the Storm was used there by Kerrigan. Doesn't want to die even with that level 20 advantage. They stay away. Mortal Wounds for the Zool. Going for a mix of melee and ranged builds here. Teeth gonna chase Lauber down. Stays alive, but here's the counter level 20. Riptide immediately in with the upgrade for that cooldown reduction. If he can land it on multiple members here, gonna look for Rutsau here. Wraps around, only hits Rutsau as Lauber pushes forward. Waiting for that mosh pit opportunity as the Bobby begins to drain him, and T is getting zoned.
Yeah, they're zoning him as much as they can, but Breeze is pushing once again in. Ultralist actually missing him. A lot of the stuns too. Here comes immediately the Bloodlust. They're jumping in with another dance on ETC. The old man with his storytelling, putting everybody to sleep, or at least trying to. Only hitting ETC on the other hand, and Poik is down. They're trying to make the play for Leo, and they drop him, and Breeze is dead too. That's 3 heroes down on the side of Last Dance. They take the Punisher. We have the fan club with even more momentum here. And they are going to push through that bot lane hard. They go through the fort like hot butter through cheese on their way to the keep. Punisher not even losing anything, and this is going to be really difficult to hold. Keep should fall, maybe even more if they can follow up with an additional kill.
Junkrat is here, he's going to send out one more Riptire, buys himself some time, gets a good cooldown on that one. In fact, he's got it reset. He's really just going to try and siege this with the Riptire. He gets another reset. He's getting it done really slowly.
Yeah, this... I mean, he's doing what he can, but still, this is a keep for sure. Now, we have Jimmy back in 8-7 seconds, and there's not a follow-up kill yet. but that Punisher still is at 74% HP. And that's problematic.
Yeah.
So they're really going for the shield now. They're trying to finish this. They're trying to bring this to game number 3.
They have Stay a While and Lizard available. Decker Kane, if he can get the angle, might be enough. Riptide comes in one more time. There's the Stay a While. The core is being focused down. ETC trapped in the ruin of silence here by Chris, who's getting it. They feel killed off 2. Core down to 50%. The Punisher is still healthy. Ty is down, but the core is finished. And it's going to be a 1-1 as Laubers Fanclub even up the score.
Well done. 1-1, and we're going to game number 3. So Last Dance will once again have to go through the third map in order to take the fan club down. This is exactly where we were the last time the two teams faced off against each other. Game number 3. The final map is coming in. We are on Volskaya Foundry, and we're kicking this off with the immediate first pick, first ban for the Last Dance. Third and final map. Who's going to take it? Who's going to advance to the grand final? The fan club doing a great job on map number 2. Close call though. But now we have Last Dance with first pick and first ban as map choice. It was made by the fan club. Anna gets banned out, but I really want to see what we're going to get in terms of drafts here for the two teams, and if the fan club can get the revenge for last week where they lost in the semifinal, also on the third map against them.
Ladies and gentlemen, as the Tassadar is banned out, a storm of support comes our way as we have hit over $2,000 for the Cure Rare Diseases charity. Thank you so much for all the donations and all the support you have shown this amazing charity. You've all done a fantastic job here, and that's no taunt as Garrosh is removed. But we can keep going. Exclamation mark charity in the chat to keep it going and keep the support and the love flowing for such an amazing charity.
Urel banned out so many times here today. And also the ban against Tassadar, so Chris is not going to be able to lock that in for himself, which today, honestly, he hasn't done, at least not in the games that we cast of him. Last time it was a huge priority for him. Might have used it in some of the off-stream matches, though. But heading into the first pick, what are we getting from them now? Because this is honestly also the first time that we see them play on Volskaya today, and it is that Rhaegar pick that we've seen, I mean, as a reliable first pick on pretty much any map. We've been first picked on Infernal Shrines, Battlefield of Eternity, ETC and Li Ming, though, for the opponent. And that's actually the first Li Ming that we're getting from Tai in quite a bit in these tournaments.
Yeah, and I believe this might actually be the first Rhaegar from Zalia as well today, who has stuck very much with the Arnas, and in last game, of course, the Deckard Canes. This might be, and of course, Lucio earlier. This might be the first time I believe we've seen it today.
From him, yeah. I mean, this is the second series that we get from them, so yeah. No Rhaegar play yet. There's Jojo again, and we got Jimmy. Poik locks him in. I mean, again, they couldn't, of course, always swap the heroes over and play Chris on Rhaegar if they really need to. If Poik wants to play something else, but for now, they're fine with that. They're also looking at bans again. And for the fan club, last time we actually saw Chen again banned out against them. That's another map where you could do that. So it's definitely possible. I wouldn't put that past Last Dance, since apparently after game number 1, they kind of felt that Chen was a bit too impactful against those backline heroes. Deathwing gets banned out first, but let's see what the Last Dance is trying to get rid of here.
Deathwing taken out, as you say. Last Dance with ETC and Li Ming on the board. Probably, maybe just the Leoric because it's a safe choice to remove it from the Johanna, or maybe something else to get out to the burst. The Greymane, for example, snuck its way through. They might want it for themselves, but removing it from Li Ming, Greymane reset combos could be very effective too. It's going to be Chen. All right, fair enough.
Chen gets banned after game 1. Don't really want to deal with that again. Banned in game number 2, banned in game number 3. We still have plenty of good side laners, obviously. Yeah, I mean, this is also one of the maps where, for example, you played a lot of Rexa initially. This was the Rexa.
There it is.
There he is right away. So Rexa plus Chromie. Double mage for them. Yeah, going for the complete poke here. Trying to poke them low a bit with Chromie and then following it up with a bit more Li Ming action. And, of course, the attempt at a reset from Tai. Definitely possible. And didn't Tai play earlier already Li Ming? No, it was Greymane that he played, right?
Yeah, I don't think he's got the chance to play Li Ming today.
Yeah,
either way, gets it this time. False start again. Interesting. And Blaze. So they've got the classic Johanna Blaze combo. It's always effective. Falstad for the second time here. And Falstad, as everyone is aware, is a little bit of a squishier boy. So against double mages, is going to have to play very safely here. Could this be a hinterland game as opposed to a Gusk? Because there's not a huge amount of hard engage.
Don't think so.
Fair enough. It's still too good.
I would be very surprised. There's the Malfurion. That, on the other hand, doesn't come as a surprise. Good follow-up for ETC. Yeah. Also, of course, good follow-up if you have Rexa and Misha in the game. And it allows you, on top of that, if you, with any of these two heroes, get the initial stun and then a Malfurion follow-up, that Li Ming and Chromie can take aim and try and take the target down. So, with that said, really good setup to get that burst damage in. Now they just have to make it happen, ideally against the Rhaegar, against the Reyna, or against the Falstad. Those are going to be the priority targets. If they can make that happen against Johanna, all the better. But with Iron Skin, it's going to be a bit difficult. And let's not forget that we also have Blaze sitting here who can later on also drop the quick bunker and really help them to dodge out a lot of that burst damage from those mages.
Absolutely. Going to be able to give them that little bit of extra sustain, and also that Blaze adding in that extra follow-up damage for the Johanna. And to follow up on what we were saying earlier, we're already nearly at $2,100. You guys are doing absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much for all the support. And thank you, Method, for the support as well. They've sent in several donations. And we're going to be ready to jump into the game very shortly.
Yeah, so thanks for all the donations and all the money that can now go to charity. So definitely for a good cause here. If you guys still want to check it out and you're currently on Twitch chat, !charity is of course what you should have a look at as we're going to slowly make our way into the game here. Volskaya Foundry is the last and final map. And yep, one of the two teams will advance for the fan club. Will actually be the first time in the Method Mayhem series that they advance to the grand final. Whereas, of course, for Last Dance, after last week, it would be the second time. And we're still waiting also from news from the other semi-final, where apparently initially Quack's team has taken the lead against Washed Up, but we are currently on map number 2 over there. And the question is, of course, what exactly we're going to get from them.
We're all in the lobby. Looks like we're just getting ready to go. Looks like I had a quick DC, but I'm back, so feels good. Feels amazing.
Then let's jump in and take this.
Let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. On the right-hand side, Laubers Fanclub. On the left-hand side, it is, of course, going to be the last dance. 1-1 winner moves on to the grand finals. It's all to play for here.
Yep, game on, and we got our first talents in game number 3. Again, it is Exterminator as the level 1 choice for Jimmy. We got Falstad also with that Seasoned Marksman build that we already highlighted previously. Chromie and Li Ming, on the other hand, the burst damage dealers for Laubers Fanclub. The attempt to get a lockdown, the damage follow-up onto the same target, simply blowing them out of the waters, and then trying to follow up with a Protector, and then take down structures here. They played a great game number 2. Can they follow up with a fantastic third game and maybe advance to the grand final and also take the revenge against Last Man? So we're going to find out right here with the first skirmish in the middle of the map between the two teams.
No kills, and not as many as I would have hoped they would expect. Stacks on that Chromie. Once again, for the first time, they were looking for stacks, which is why they went for that mid-fight. Unable to do so, though, as Loba tried to get Chris, unable to land the shots.
Yeah, down to the bottom of the map. Now our Rexa set up. Copenhagen against Whoopi. Middle of the map. Still that rotational play. 1 minute mark is going to hit in another 10 seconds. So you want to go for the turrets as quickly as you can. Make the play there. Get your item advantage. And take it early so that the next turret spawns as the objective is up. That will allow you oftentimes to go for an additional item. Especially if one hero on your side dies, you will still be able to go for the actual turret, take the turret, wait for the hero to come back because of the low death timer, and then play for the control over the checkpoint again. But there is also play down towards the bottom, stuns on both sides. They're trying to go for Zelia. Rhaegar's a little bit low, so is Copenhagen, and it is the Beastmaster that dies.
Zelia deciding after being engaged on the best defense, the best defense is the good offense, and is able to turn the fight for the kill. But the nice shot from Li Ming gets the counter and turns the kill count 1-1.
Tai with a great kill against Poik, absolutely blowing him out of the water there. Fantastic kill and saving at least the morale of the team. So that was a good one. Level 4 choice went into the charge blast over here for Slimming. No Trump for it or anything. But kill for a kill, I like it. Game is starting off with a nice trade. And of course, now with both of those turrets taken that I mentioned previously, the question is what happens around the support camp. And the question is answered right away. The Last Dance is trying to make the play for that. Both teams are still willing to fight for it. There's the slide. Everybody's here. 5 versus 5. They're making the play for Lauber, and he goes down. ETC is toast, but Chris is low and nearly dies as Tai comes in with another kill attempt.
Chris rolls away and will survive this time. He gets out, keeps himself in this game. But in that fight, Chromie was able to get another 8 stacks there. Nicely done. But, as we already mentioned, they lost the support camp. That was a very well-controlled fight from the side of the Last Dance. And as such, they've got themselves just under a quarter of a level, or just over a quarter of a level lead.
2 kills against 1 now. Objective coming up in another 3 seconds. There is an item advantage now, obviously, for Last Dance. And now the big question, who walks away with Protector number 1? Top lane has to be defended first. Camp has been taken a bit quicker from Last Dance, so this one needs to be eliminated. This is one of the weaknesses, actually, of this draft. There's not really a whole lot of wave clear over here. If you compare to what the blue team is running with Johanna, with Rhaegar, Blade, pretty much with every single hero that's on the lineup, the wave clear isn't really there. You want to win the team fights. You are not going to win it on a macro level where you have quick rotations to take those waves down. So that's something that Laubers Fanclub have to keep in mind. But if they can get these insta-kills, that's a completely different story and would help them on the objective and then help them to take the structures down.
Lauber ran in, broke their stuff. Put some pressure on. Looks like they are going to try and invade the turret here. Wobby, though, is in a great flank position. Will stun out Li Ming. Tai getting zoned away very effectively as Chris comes in to try and follow up. Stun from Lauber. They're still holding as Breeze has dropped so low. Forced to retreat here. It's up to Zalia now to hold the line as they pick off the bear.
Yeah, Whoopi is also really low. The problem is that the same is true for Lauber. Chris gets away. But that was nicely done by Last Dance. I mean, first of all, that Whoopi just demolishing Tai in the backline. It was really tricky for anybody else to help out there. And if Tai wasn't under pressure in that situation, I'm pretty sure he could have moved in for a kill. He was actually trying to take Breeze down, but couldn't quite do that. Still, the situation was solved quite nicely from Last Dance, and they were able to take their item after all. Now it's 68% against 40. Here comes the level 10 on Chromie, and that's now the moment to see if they can maybe get a kill here after all. Falls dead, in a bit of trouble. Breeze also needs to be careful, but it's Whoopi that dies as Chromie shows no mercy with the Dragon's Breath.
Dragon Breath picking up the kill there. They kill off the turret. They hold control, 78%, and with Blaze dead for 11 seconds, looks like this first objective will be going over to Laubers Fanclub, who are continuing their fight for revenge after last week. And with that first Protector, the revenge is going to start in the mid lane.
And that, at the end of the day, has to be the game plan, right? Win the team fights. So the traditional rotation would mean you go for the wall in the middle and then you move up to the top to take the fountain down so that you have an easier time fighting for objective number 2. You already know where that spawns, so if you get an advantage topside on the structure level, that usually helps you there. You spend a little bit more time in the middle than you would normally see, taking the entire thing down. And topside gets also pushed, but only by the 2 damage dealers. So Tai and Chromie are currently sitting there. And the Protector now, after the wall is done, is going to start to make the rotation, but they don't have level 10, and Last Dance does.
22 seconds left, and just a little bit of XP to go. They'll be able to clear this out with the Protector even, and little shots from Chromie. Protector gets the turret, weakens the fountain. 10 seconds left on the Protector. So they might just let the fountain go as they put some pressure. And Falstead flies in from behind, looks for the gust. Hits both mages. No one in position to follow up, though. And that's just going to be the Protector expiring, gets a bit more XP, but they have level 10s. They're able to now contest and fight if they want to.
Now, they weren't able to take the fountain down, but the wall has fallen on both lanes, mid and top. And this also means that with those long-distance poke heroes that you have, you could pick that fountain off if you just move topside and can push into range for just a second. But, of course, item control is the absolute, most important thing here. So they're trying to go for that first. And they have to win team fights. I mean, this entire setup that Laubers Fanclub is running here is designed to be especially effective during the team fights. They won't win a pure macro game against their opponent. They need to run the objective. They need to win the team fights. Just simply trying to deal with Chris's global and all the wave clear on Last Dance and matching that is not going to work.
Now, the longer this fight goes on, the worse it actually is for Laubers Fanclub here, because Chris is only 2 seconds away from getting Gust back, which will try and separate them here, but he eats a huge amount of damage from T. There's the Gust, though, and that's going to allow Breeze to cap this. They kill the bear, and it's the full retreat. They've waited too long. A Mosh Pit coming out, though, leaving for the damage, but the cleanse will shut that down.
Again, great control from Last Dance here. And also the forced Gust, because Ty was about to pop the bird. So Ty the entire time just threatening those kills. But it is a pretty fun setup here. It's honestly down to the wire. You always see these small nuanced plays where it's just one player saves the day for the team. And even when that mosh pit comes out, that could have led to the kill of Hoik, but he was saved by his teammates. And now we're looking at 2 kills against 2 kills, a slight lead for the Last Dance, despite the fact that they lost objective number 1. And it's all about items, items, items. Control the camps, control the items, try to control the experience here. And it's a fun opening. For game number 3, it's pretty awesome. The most impressive thing to me right now is over on Chris's side, 8 minutes in, he's at 31 stacks already for his season marksman, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. He's going to be finished soon. Bless Shield, Condemn, looking for Rutzau, but he makes it out over the wall. The Banshee very nearly runs him down, but unable to finish the job.
Next objective will be really, really impactful. With the level 13 talent now in, that means that there's more and more synergy for Falsa with the damage output on the auto attack. That's extra pressure against Lauber. There's also the poke, of course, from those 2 mages. And you can really tell that in every single fight, Ty is just so close to get the first kill and then the resets, but as long as he's not able to lock the first kill in, that doesn't really help him. Close doesn't count. Down here, Falstad is getting his global value, but now that the control point is announced, we're soon going to see the fight at the top, and Chris is again forced to Gust, since Ty moved in to help out with the potential kills.
Justified heroic use there, even though the objective's going to be up in a little bit. A dead Falstad is worse than a heroicless Falstad, so as such, he's going to survive here. Breeze, again, being forced to drop that Iron Skin to back up. Temporal Loop going to come out. Will they be able to get him? No, the Assemble lasting just long enough to outrun the Temporal Loop.
Yeah. And now top side, of course, there's a push. We have most of the heroics ready, not all of them. Rex are obviously committed to his own ult at the bottom of the map as he was trying to take Chris down. So it was a trade in ults down there. And Chris wasn't really pulled. This, on the other hand, is a problem, and that is a kill. There's no kill like overkill. Go in with the Mosh, the counter against Malfurion, though. And here comes the Rexa kill. Unbelievable. The Last Dance. They lose a hero. It's the engaged force by the fan club, but then it just turns against them. They lose 1, they lose 2, and they lose 3, as Chromie is also getting dropped. Last Dance, they are doing a great job here in this team fight.
You see the Last Dance, you may be wondering, they're 2v4, why are they backing out? Because they were low on health, even though they had the numbers advantage. It only takes 1 kill from Li Ming to snowball that into a turnaround play from Laubers Fanclub. So what they did is very sensibly backed up, got in the healing totem of Rhaegar, and healed up to the point that they weren't reset potential. And as such, they still guarantee the objective. They do give the enemy team a little bit of time to respawn, but they don't risk the counterplay until later on when they have everyone as well.
Yeah, it was just a bit tricky. Honestly, Laubers Fanclub, they try to waltz their way into the team fight, but if your opponent is dancing salsa over there, then you just can't keep up with that. That's a little bit too quick for you. 5 versus 3 now, and they go straight for the next objective. Nearly level 16 for the Last Dance. Question is simply, can they get the kill? It's Breeze. If they can, that might just be the opening that they need. And the bunker play, but Jojo is dead.
Oh my god, Bunker comes down, he was just a fingertip away. It's like crawling out to it's like being in the desert, starving for a drink, crawling out, you see the oasis, you reach your little finger out to grab it, and then a scorpion gets you, and that's the end there as Johanna was killed off. Bunker not able to save the day.
And honestly, that might just be the ticket back into this.
Yeah.
Because the objective is still not taken. So this is the one chance that you have, that kill, to close the gap in experience and then also maybe pick up that objective. So if that doesn't happen, that would have been a huge problem. and they're too late. They can't fight for it. This is the second protector in the hands of the fan club. I'm honestly impressed that one kill against Breeze was all that they needed to lock in objective number 2. Now, don't get me wrong, they're still behind experience, but this is what helps them to close that gap.
Yeah. They went too greedy here the last dance. They committed 3 heroes to XP in the bot lane and grabbing that little bit, those 2 turrets. And as such, they lose the objective from it as mid is pressured. The protector still bullying in the top lane. However, it's already down to 26% health, absolutely bodied. So nice job by the last dance here, holding themselves in the game. Even more bullying onto the protector there.
And that objective is something, or that fort is something they're gonna get. The objective, there's already, yeah, they're trying to go for the lineup. Main Death, the world's worst actors, once again at it. Henning comes in with the tranquility. They're trying to keep the boys and girls alive. But at this point, it seems like Zelia's the first one to fall. Zelia down, Chromie also dead. Another stun, the gust comes in. They're isolating Copenhagen. And the Beastmaster goes down once more. An unbearable situation, so Misha commits Sudoku. And then Lauber gets chased next. They go for ETC and they might just get it. Lauber, the slide.
He's speedy, he's so fast! But no. Chris unable to finish the job there. They ran it down so far. Also, really love the fade death and time stop combined dodge blaze there. And that looked good. For a second, they timed out the bloodlust, but the turnaround play, faster chasing down Rexar, was too much to handle.
52 stacks now for Chris. Calm down. Honestly, that bird is... Oh, ooh, there's Lauber again. Careful. Bless shield. And he slides out. Oh, he's really threading the needle over there. Tai, on the other hand, is looking for a kill. Goes in with a Calamity. Careful, my friend. Another stun against Lauber. Eats that hit for Li Ming. And they're still fighting for this. They're 1.5 levels behind now, though. So that level discrepancy is a huge problem. Yeah. Funnily enough, it had structures.
Neither of these teams wanted to give an edge. Lauber going forward, no mosh pit available. Turret is available. Wobby's going to pick that up. They hold the line, and Chris rolls away. They hold that while forcing out the tranquility. That was value.
Yeah, for sure. This entire game is kind of insane. Like, the kills and counter kills that we're seeing here are just absolutely nuts. After Vega goes down, you really think that they have a chance to totally take it. I mean, the entire time was forced by the blue team in the first place after the Protector was nearly over. Here they go again for Whoopi. They can't kill him. Misha is down. And the window of opportunity is really starting to close because you are facing off against an opponent that's already on level 19.
Yeah, rushing towards that level 20. Level 18 just about to hit for Laubers here, but they're still far behind. The only person who has anything now is Chromie, of course, with that talent advantage, gets that piercing sounds right away, which will help them siege the objective, but those Storm Tier talents are so deadly.
Move down to the bottom of the map now. Fawcett still, the side experience from Fawcett, like, it serves multiple purposes. First of all, of course, you have more experience. Second of all, you're pushing structures down and can eventually also apply lane pressure by taking, let's say, a 4 down and let Catapult spawn. And also, with Fawcett just playing side lane the entire time, he's getting stacks and stacks and stacks and stacks. He's sitting at 61. We're 15 minutes into this game. He's at 61 auto attack damage for his level 1 talent here, which is nuts. Now, the fort at the bottom of the map is about to go down. Level 20 talents in their hands. This is a bad position for the fan club to be in. Their one saving grace is that Objective 3 doesn't necessarily end the game here anymore as it is in the past, so there's a chance that they can defend if they can just soak enough experience themselves.
They are also down a heroic, though. The balls was used there, trying to capture Chris as he rotated down through mid lane to bot lane, and it was unsuccessful, obviously, as Chris is still here. So Boars still another 25 seconds away, which, to be fair, it's unlikely Laubers Fanclub would be looking for a fight anyway at this stage, as they really want that level 20 before they attempt or take the risk. On the right side, though, for them, very good news. Once again, the first time is going to be completed.
Top 4 is, by the way, about to fall. So that's another structure that they are able to take down.
Come on, Mercs.
Maybe
no,
not.
I think the minions might hold it. The Mercs still going.
That would have been a pretty neat thing. There's a little bit more experience if they get it. So unfortunately for them, it still has 290 hit points. So yeah, not quite working out that way. They still don't have level 20. Can they defend here? That's the question. It is possible, again. Third objective doesn't necessarily end the game anymore. It's 16 minutes in. But of course, if you can get any kind of kills together with that, that's a totally different story then. And that wall is open up quickly. Keep usually is lost though. But as you can see, that Immortal is losing, sorry, the Punisher Protector is losing, Webweaver is losing hit points very, very, very
God of
quickly.
Terror. God of Shamblers. We see the Protector moving forward, focusing. It will get the keep, but it is popped. Lauber has Mosh. There's the wind tunnel. That's the disengage. That's all they wanted. They got the keep. Mission accomplished. Back out before 20.
Yeah, they're able to move back. There's the 20. And keep down, but you still have a fighting chance. So you still got that.
Yep.
And now we've got the kill command. Chromie with her own. There's also Tarashas. And yeah, time to party and party hard. Let's try and see if we can get a kill here somewhere. Set something up, like for example with EDC. Sliders in, but Breeze has the Iron Skin. The kill command comes through. Oh,
Nice.
and there's a quick kill against Jimmy. No counter kill this time. Bloodlust is used, and all that they can do with it is run away faster. The French defense.
Use the movement speed to back out as fast as possible, and that will keep everyone alive except for Reina. But again, Laubers Fanclub is still in this game. They're a keep down. They're behind in structures by only that keep, to be fair. It's not as bad as it looks, and they're going to finally move on and start taking items.
Yeah, finally they have a bit more map control that they can now use to get, first of all, the healing beacon, maybe even the camp on the left side. I mean, they're already going straight in for it, and honestly, yeah, he has the Unstoppable Frame, so he can dodge out on this. And he slides in is slightly too late. Nothing they can do, but they can quickly take it down, so at least it's not going to make a difference on the lane itself.
Yeah, they deny value. They're going to be able to clean that up as fast as possible. They finally get top fort, as such getting some fort value on their own side, trying to race themselves up in terms of levels due to the stat bonuses here. Bot lane still being pushed in pretty hard. Items beginning to come off cooldown, and this is really where Laubers Fanclub can try and get themselves back into this game. Bot lane going to be cleaned up very easily due to Copenhagen, and they're grabbing value on the map. Mercenaries from every side.
You need to make sure that, of course, the catapults are now taken down consistently because we are 19 minutes in, so we are starting to slowly enter Winian territory. Got to be careful around that. Camp, they're trying to time it. I like that. But objective number 4, big question, of course, now going to be who can get that initial kill. Liming has 50,000 damage in this game. Chrome is sitting on 36k. On the other side, you got 39,000 for Reina. And 31 is actually kind of impressive. 33,000 for Blaze, 31 for Johanna.
Solid numbers from everyone on board here. They're still waiting on that camp, because let's be honest, outside of clearing bot lane, they have nothing else to do. And the lanes aren't pushed up enough for them to soak. Bot lane's the only lane they really can, and they can't afford to abandon this camp, so what they're going to do is grab the camp, rotate bot, clean it out, and then contest the objective.
By the way, Falstad has just 29,000 damage, but that doesn't come as a surprise. He has 175,000 siege damage because, as I explained earlier, he was trying to get the side soak, the experience, and also the lane push. And in addition to that, of course, the stacks for is level 1. So now that we're getting into those more important team fights, he has 73 stacks to his season marksman. His auto attacks together with the level 13 talent are just absolutely brutal.
Oh, no.
So this is going to hurt on the single target level.
This is going to hurt on the core. This is the back door. They have vision. Johanna can stop ports. Johanna's going to try and delay. Here they go with the speed. They're trying to end it here and now. Count. Oh, no. Got by the core push. There's the bloodlust, though. They can't get back in time. Another core push, though, with the wind tunnel. They still have bunker. That's it. They've done it. And the last dance, go for the back door and win the game and the series. Well, all right, then.
I kind of feel a bit cheated. I mean, smart play, worked well, great call, but I'm still sitting here, I'm just like, that's not how I wanted to end this. So, yeah, that was a little bit dirty.
Man.
I mean, that felt really dirty. Breeze slows them down as they're trying to come back. You have the wind tunnel coming in, then they got bloodlust. Yeah.
If it works, dude, the breeze, like you said, the breeze delay. I'm kind of surprised they were able to do that after being hit by the core knockback twice.
Yeah,
but they did it. Good for them. They got it.